another random thought here, but when I have them and it just hits me different this way, I feel like I gotta record it. When you know, because I'm a coach for wholesale real estate. You know, I'm literally just I literally just turned off an Alex Hormozi podcast so I could make this video about this thought I'm having, because he was talking about how he started to become an entrepreneur. Alex Hormozi, he was destined to be a consultant and to make a lot of money. You know, that's what his dad wanted him to be. And it was a setup job for him. He already went to school for it and everything. But he hated it. He hated his life. He hated being a consultant, a task consultant, whatever. But it was his dad's dream for him, right? And he was going to make a lot of money, but he hated his life. So in the podcast, he's talking about that first risk he took on his entrepreneurship journey, which was he drove, I think he said, halfway across the country into another state before he even had the balls to tell his dad, hey dad, I left and I'm not doing tax consulting. I'm following my passion and I'm going to start a gym. And Alex Hormozi's talking about how petrified of fear he was and how it ruined his relationship with his dad, because, you know, his dad is an immigrant and he had really strict parents. And I related to it so much because I'm going through it right now. And let me tell you something. Right? Because I'm moving from Dallas to Arizona right now, right? But first it was quitting my job, my 9 to 5. No, first it was I was in jail and I had to make the decision, I'm not going to be a criminal anymore. I'm just not going to be a criminal anymore. I'm not going to be in jail anymore. Then, right, I'm going to be the best version of myself. Then after that, fast forward, I'm out of jail. I keep working my job and something clicks. I take the risk. I say, I'm quitting my job and I'm starting this entrepreneurship thing. And I had to have that talk with my parents too. And it was scary, bro. I had to give myself a time limit because I wasn't sure, but I knew that if I tried hard enough, something in me knew that if I tried hard enough, like really hard, nonstop, there's no way I couldn't get it. It was like, you know, so that was the first time, and it was hella scary, hella doubtful. Your family's looking at you weird for the first time. You know, that's the first time you go through the phase of the ones who are closest to you and your loved ones, they doubt you. You know, they tell you to go back to being normal, go get a normal job, things like that. But, yeah, first you have to go through that, right? And then you overcome it. Now you're a hometown hero, but guess what? The journey doesn't stop there. I'm a hometown hero, right? Better compared to most of the people that I was surrounded with, but that wasn't my goal. I wasn't trying to be better than the people who were around me, because they were losers in my eyes. I didn't want to be like everybody else, so I left my hometown, right? That was the second time I took that risk. I bet on myself. I took that risk, bet on myself, and I went to Houston, and it was scary. I paid 5 months rent in advance. I only had $2,000 to my name. And I didn't know if I was going to make it. I genuinely, guys, when you don't understand the pressure that was on me. But I knew there's a few things. I had a little bit of wisdom in me. I knew that I was young. I didn't have kids. I could take the most risks in my life right now because I'm young and because I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I don't have a mortgage. I could take those risks. So I said, you know what? Screw it. Because what's the worst that could happen? I fail and go back home. That was never an option for me. It was either do or die. So it was either I do it or I fail and become homeless, and I just keep trying. But I'm just saying, like, that was scary. That was uncertain. So if you feel uncertain, right? If you feel like you don't know if it's going to work out, if you feel like you might waste all your money, you're scared that you might fail, you're scared that you don't trust yourself because you've never been consistent with anything in your life, you're scared because you don't trust yourself because you know you have bad habits and bad vices, I'm telling you, it don't matter who you are, where you come from, anything is possible. But if you're scared and if you're nervous and you're anxious and you're worried about whether or not it'll work out, listen to me. That is supposed to happen. That is a part of the journey. That is textbook. That comes with the territory. It is what you sign up for. You know? And I was going to post something the other day on Instagram, saying something similar to this. But the point is, I'm doing that right now. But guess what? To finish off the Houston story, yeah, I went out to Houston, I bet on myself, and I didn't make money for 3 months. I didn't make anything happen for 3 months. I had to figure it out, but I had to try every day. Try. I had one person who was by my side, and I thank God for him. His name's James Wells. He was my first ever mentor, but he was my friend. He was the first ever friend I made in real estate. And he just said, you got it, bro. You got it. Trust me. Because I couldn't see. I didn't have hindsight yet. I didn't have real proof of concept yet that it's going to work, that I could make $10,000 a month on my own. But he saw it in me, right? Because he's older than me. So he's like, bro, if you keep doing what you're doing, you got it. And I was like, all right. But he, reaffirmed me, and he was like, you know what, bro? If anything does go bad, and for some reason you do need to pay your rent and you're behind on rent, I got you. Right? And I thank God that I had somebody like that in my life, but he knew it wasn't going to take me that long, right? And by the way, I moved out to Houston and paid 5 months rent in advance. I don't know if I said that already. So I gave myself that space to not have to be in survival mode. Like, I'm not going to look for a job, because that was never the option to get a job. What's the point of the video? You're supposed to be scared. You're supposed to be uncertain. You're supposed to not know if it's going to work out. Welcome to the fucking club. Welcome to the fucking club. If you're secure, if you like being secure, you like a steady paycheck, you like knowing that if I just show up, don't have to try too hard, try not to, stay under the radar a little bit, just do the bare minimum, and I'll be comfortable. I'll make enough to where I'm comfortable. If that's you, if that is you, one, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? And two, this video is not for you. This is for the entrepreneurs. Something is inside of us that can't let us be average. We can't, right? And I don't think you were meant to. I think each of us has a calling. God gives us a calling, whether that's to scrub toilets, sell real estate, or build commercial buildings, or be a preschool teacher, whatever. But the point is, whenever you go to follow your passion and your dream, entrepreneurs specifically, if you're scared, you don't know, it's not been working for a while, it's supposed to happen, bro. And I'm going through it right now. I'm selling everything that I have right now, and I'm leaving Dallas. Why would I do that? I'm doing great. Business is great. YouTube is great. Everything is not even doubled, like tripled, quadrupled, 10x'd since I've been in Dallas. Why would I switch locations, right? It's because it's what my soul knows is the right thing to do, right? That's a topic for a different video, and maybe I'll make that video one day. But it's scary. I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to go to Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, and surround myself with certain people that God picked out, right? And I'm supposed to go there. I'm supposed to drop everything, go there, and continue my purpose, continue my path, my mission, right? I came to Dallas and did what I was supposed to do, and some. Straight up, I did what I was supposed to do, and this season of my life is over with. But I'm telling you guys, not a day goes by when I'm not stressed, worried, or anxious about the future, right? Yes, I pray every day, and yes, I trust God, right? I trust my gut, right? But it doesn't mean it's not scary. It doesn't matter if you're a UFC fighter, or it doesn't matter how many fights you've been in, like, you're still a little bit nervous, a little bit scared every time you step in that ring. Doesn't matter if you think you're the baddest alive. A piece of you is like, come on, you get ready for battle. Anyways, I hope this made sense. This is a rant, but it's a thought I had of that Alex Hormozi was scared and unsure and didn't know, when he first started his entrepreneur journey, and he's a billionaire now, right? I was unsure of my journey, and you could see my whole journey on YouTube. And I'm just making this video for all of my subscribers who really, really follow me. You're supposed to feel scared. You're supposed to feel uncertain. There's gonna be days where you don't know if it's gonna work out. You're scared. You're taking a risk. You take that leap of faith. You spend your last $3,000 on a course, and you don't know if that course is gonna, make you rich, right? The course isn't gonna make you rich. it's you. It's betting on you. You're not paying $3,000 for a course. In a sense, yes, you are. You're paying $3,000 for whatever, if it's a mentorship, some knowledge, community, whatever, you're paying for it. But really, it's you paying $3,000 to yourself, because you're betting on yourself that you would take full advantage of that opportunity that you just paid for, right? And sometimes we don't have the evidence to show that, we're capable of doing what we set out to do. So we have self-doubt, we have limiting beliefs, we doubt ourselves. But I'm telling you, that is supposed to happen. That's normal, and if you fight through it long enough, you keep going, you're gonna then have the evidence to show that you are a badass. You take those risks, right? Even though I'm scared to take this risk to sell everything I have and move to Arizona around new people, a new city, new state, everything, I still have that confidence of, I have the evidence to look back in my past and, well, every time I moved and skipped states or skipped cities and trusted my gut, it worked out for me. So I'm gonna keep taking those risks, right? Now I have that proof of concept, but before I didn't have it. And I'm telling you, if I have that proof of concept now and I'm still doing this shit and I'm still leveling up, I'm still documenting the journey, y'all are still seeing it, then, come on now. If I could do it, you could do it too. Take that risk, take that leap of faith. And if you're scared, good. That means you're probably doing the right thing. If your loved ones aren't sure, if your loved ones are doubting you, if you felt misunderstood by most people, if you feel like the weirdo, right? Because you're obsessed with work, success, whatever, working out, wholesaling, business, whatever. Hey, it means you're doing something right. So yeah, this video was a little longer than I expected, but I hope y'all got some value out of it, if I even post this. And if you did get some value, make sure to hit the like button, comment, subscribe. Stay motivated.